Hello everyone, this is Rui PCB, your trusted PCB partner. Today we'll be discussing why you sometimes can't select objects on a PCB in KiCad. It's common to see some users asking, why can't I select components on the PCB? No matter if you try clicking or dragging a selection box, nothing works at all. You might start to wonder if we've encountered a bug. So let's use this PCB we've previously designed as an example to test it out. First, let's use a selection tool. When we select the USB, it can be highlighted. Selecting UE also highlights it, and selecting the LED works as well. But when we try to select SW, it can't be selected whenever we try. The entire area gets selected instead. And when we use the selection box, we still can't select it. Only the traces get selected. But if we use the selection box here, look, this component lights up. The same goes for the traces. For example, when we select this trace, it lights up. But you see, we can't select this other trace. Even if we use the selection box, this trace still can't be selected. Let's take a closer look to see what the difference is. The difference with this trace is quite obvious. There's a purple background on the trace, and this component also has some purple background. What causes this situation? This is usually because the component has been locked, so we can't select it. So how do you lock a component? Let's use this component as an example. To lock it, select it, press E, and then click lock. Now you'll see that this component also has a purple background box, which means it has been locked. See, now we can't select it anymore. We can only select the copper pore or the traces, but not the component itself. The same method applies to traces. Let's take this trace as an example. Press E, then lock it. Okay, look, it also gets a purple background, and now it can't be selected anymore. So why does this locking feature exist? Its main advantage is that after we've determined the placement of a component or the position of a trace, we can lock it to ensure that its position won't change during any subsequent adjustments. Typically, we lock the outline and some interface components. For components like these that have fixed positions, we need to lock them so that their positions remain unchanged throughout the entire drawing process. Now here's another problem. Once I've locked a component, I can't select it anymore. So what if I locked the wrong component? What should I do then? How can I unlock it and remove the lock state? Here there is a filter below. If we check the locked option in the filter, we can then select the locked components or even locked wires. After that, we can modify them and remove their lock status, returning them to a normal state. By default, this option is not checked, which is why we encounter situations where locked components cannot be selected. Once you check it, you can select any component. This filter also has some other benefits. For example, if I want to batch modify the width of these particular electrical wires, selecting them in this current manner would also inadvertently select the ground connection and these various other electronic components, so I can't precisely select just the wires alone without including other elements. Here's a solution. First, uncheck all the options so that none of them are selected. Then I select only wire, and when I make a selection, you'll notice that only the wires are selected components and copper pores are not included. For example, if I want to narrow down the range and only change the width of these few lines, I can select them, press E, and then modify their width here. Click OK, and see their line widths have all become thicker. This gives us a very convenient and flexible way to perform batch operations. Let's try again. If we want to modify vias, we only check the via option, then make a selection. See, only the 3 vias are selected, and I can batch modify the diameter of the vias, for example, make them a bit larger, change them to 1 millimeter. Look, these vias have become larger. So by flexibly using the filter tool, we can also easily solve the problem of not being able to select and batch modify items. That's all for today's content. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel for more videos. Thank you, everyone.